Would you like to hear a story about Would you like to hear a story about a dad and his Would you like to hear a story about a dad and his two sons that will give you the clarity today to know whether you have a chance with your ex or whether you should finally move on? My name is Michael Griswold, and there once was this millionaire dad who had two sons. One was an incurable optimist, and the other was an incurable pessimist. And because the dad loved his sons, he'd said, "What can I do to help them?" And then he thought, aha, I've got an idea. Well, Christmas was coming, and he thought, I know just the gift to give to each one of them. If I can make the optimist a little bit more pessimistic and the pessimist a little bit more optimistic, they will be able to live great lives. So Christmas morning came, and for the pessimist, he got him this beautiful Japanese-made bike, handcrafted so that the gears didn't even make a sound. It was the most beautiful bike that you'd ever seen and perfectly manufactured. Well, on Christmas morning, he went over to the pessimist son's room, opened the door, and said, "Do you like your gift?" The pessimist son replied, "Like it? I hate it. How could you be so thoughtless to give me such a terrible gift? If I get on that death trap and try to ride it anywhere, I'm surely going to get hit by a car and break every leg and break both my legs. And somehow I do make it to my destination. Somebody's going to see it and want to steal it, and they're going to beat me up. How could you give such a terrible gift?" And the father shrugged his shoulders and thought, well, maybe I did a better job with the optimistic son. For the optimistic son, he had given him this big pile of horse shit. So he walked down the hall and opened the door to his room and saw the optimistic son sitting in the middle of the manure pile, throwing the manure on the walls and singing. And he said, "Son, what are you doing?" And the son said, "Dad, with all of this horse shit around here, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere." Now, what does this have to do with you and your ex? Well, I'll tell you, after helping hundreds of people over the last several years, there's typically two types of people that are in this situation. The one bears the striking resemblance to the pessimistic son, who, no matter what you say, they say, "Oh, that'll never work. I've already tried that. There's no hope." The other is like the optimistic son, who thinks, this is terrible, and it kind of stinks, but there's got to be a pony in here somewhere. And that is the kind of person that does have a chance. That's the kind of person you will get back together. You will reconcile. You will work through whatever difficulty it is. And you're not foolish. You're not silly. You know how difficult it'll be. But you also know that what you had was real. What you had was special. And what you had doesn't just go away in the blink of an eye. In fact, a love like that lasts, no matter how much shit you put on top of it. Now, for the pessimistic type people, the best thing to do is to just move on, because you're just making things more difficult and making things harder for yourself. For the optimistic people, if you are looking for the pony, if you're looking for the way to make things work but don't really know how, if you've gotten to what you think is the bottom of the pile and you still haven't found the pony but you're still looking, and still convinced that you can work things out, still convinced that you do love them and they love you, I've got good news for you. You're right. And you can win. You can get back together. You can rebuild your relationship. And as you know, as you've laid in bed before thinking, man, if we could just work through this, I bet our relationship would be even better than it was before. You're absolutely right. All you need to do is have the proper guidance, know where to look to find the pony. And that's where I'd like to help you. You see, over the last several years, helping people in these types of situations, you can find out the stumbling blocks. You can find out the things that you can't see. You're so close to it, it's like trying to see your own eyeball. Difficult to do without any help. And so, if you'd like my help, if you'd like some help finding the pony, then click on the link below. And what that's going to do is give you the opportunity to register. You'll be taken to a PayPal page, or you'll pay the $250 registration fee, and then you'll get an email from me personally that will set up a time for us to chat. Now, if $250 is too much, that's okay. Then you know that it's just not worth it. And you can move on and have the peace of mind that you want. Because the most difficult thing is the indecision, not knowing what to do. Well, right now you have that choice. You have the choice to move on, give up, and say, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth $250. It's just not worth the time. It's not worth the added hassle. And you can lay your head on your pillow restfully. For those of you who think it is worth it, who know the value of what you want, that is way more valuable than anything you could put a price on, click on the link below. I assure you, you will find the pony. And you'll have this newfound confidence, like so many clients before you, who have been in similar situations and seen the way through, seeing the way to their own integrity, seeing the way to their own restoration, seeing the way to their own overcoming of their internal conflict. Because if you've watched this far, and if you've watched these videos in this series, you know one thing: you're smart. And you're smart and you're self-aware, and you know yourself enough to know that a lot of what's going on has to do with you. And maybe it's intimidating. Maybe it's scary. Maybe it makes you wonder if maybe you're fatally flawed or if there's something wrong with you. Let me assure you, none of those things are true. It's just that you can't see your own eyeball, and having some help is all you need. So click on the link below, register for a call together, and I'll help you do that. And when you're able to get that out of the way, get the thing that's been blocking you, sabotaging you, the hole that you keep falling into, the rope that keeps tripping you up, the monkey on your back, when you get rid of all that, and you're able to finally be yourself again, finally feel the love again, well then your ex, they see you. They see the you that they fell in love with from the beginning. They see the you that they saw from that moment that you remember. You might call it a magical moment when you fell in love. I'd like to help you find that again, because there's nothing more valuable. So click on the link below. And look forward to the next video where I'm going to tell you how to use naked negotiations to get your ex back. Click on the link below, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.